What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. So I've got some gloves on. That's because we're doing ceramic coating on the F-Type. So I'm actually using Ceramic Pro for this, and I'm going to put a link in the description below. So if you're looking to get into this business of doing ceramic coating installs, then you're going to want to fill out the form and then apply. This is mainly for Canadian residents, I believe, but check it out either way. Now, this coating has the highest contact point at 120 degrees. This means that at 120 degrees, things are just going to roll right off, like water's going to roll right off, or anything that's wet is basically going to roll right off. Now, it's fairly straightforward to apply, but you can mess it up. The PPF/vinyl is approved by Avery Dennison, which is amazing. So, and I think Expel, I can't remember, but I know Avery for sure. Now, which is great, this car is wrapped in Avery, but I mean, if it's approved by Avery, then it's going to be approved for any other brand for the most part. You know, like this is not going to hurt your wrap. This is going to protect your wrap. Now, comes in two parts. One part is the base coat, which is not this one, it's this one here. Now, the boxes look identical, okay? PPF and vinyl says it on the back, and this one says base coat right there. This one says top coat. Now, where the actual protection is, it's the base coat. You can do 2 layers of base coat. You can do 1 layer of base coat, you can do 2 layers of base coat. I'm doing 2 layers on this thing. How long is it going to take me? The whole process, I mean, you do have to wait between coats, but the whole process, I mean, it takes about an hour probably to do the whole car once, and then, you know, apply it again for the second coat, and then we come back 8 hours later and we do the top coat, okay? This top coat is what's going to give it that silky smooth finish, that nice silky touch that it has when you feel a ceramic coated car. Now, that's basically what this is going to do. It's also going to add a little sheen to the finish of the car. We don't want to add sheen to a matte wrap unless the customer is okay with that. Test it always on a small piece first. Make sure that it's okay or it's acceptable, and then move on from there. Again, it's not really meant, the top coat, for a matte wrap. This is a satin wrap, so we're going to be okay. Again, we're doing 2 base coats and 1 top coat. So you're going to want to allow, again, about 8 hours between the top coat and the base coat. And then when we're applying the base coat, what we're going to do is we're going to wipe it on, especially on larger areas. We're going to wipe it on in a section. We're going to break it down, and then we're going to wipe it off. That's it. The top coat can be wiped on with the sponge first, and then wiped off immediately, right away. Now, Ceramic Pro has, I believe it's a very high density. So it absorbs really nicely into the wrap. Wrap is more porous than paint, so this is why we're using a specially designed coating for the wrap, and we're not using the paint coating on the wrap. Okay, this wrap is going to absorb a little bit more than a paint job would. All right, so we're going to get to it. It's very straightforward. You only need a microfiber cloth, clean. You want to prep your surface with isopropyl alcohol, 70% for the most part, and a sponge, clean, fresh, brand new. When we use one side of the sponge, we do not reuse that side of the sponge again, because that side of the sponge, when we do the base coat, is going to become very rough, and I guess it could potentially cause a little bit of swirl marks, but it's not going to actually apply the product as well as it could. So you want to do your 2 coatings, if you're going to do 2 on the base, in one time. Again, 45 minutes between the 2 base coats. It's not that long. By the time we finish going around the car, we'll be able to apply again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through some of this process right here, and then we're going to time lapse through the rest of it. Let's make sure I've got the right ones. Put the top coat away. So I'll show you what comes inside the box. I just opened these up, and you're going to see. So we've got a card, user manual, we've got a sticker, we've got a little Ceramic Pro book, 9H, all right? It's 9H hardness. We've got a microfiber cloth. Again, get your own. This is not going to do a very good job. And it comes with a sponge as well. Again, that's very small. It's not going to do the best job either. It's going to take you forever. What you want to do is you want to prime your sponge first. So let me put the box away. We'll prime the sponge and then we'll apply it. But we're going to use about 10 drops.
Go.
So I'm just going to do a little less. That's it. It's about that. It's good. Now you may want to use gloves. It's a little bit hazardous to your hands, your bare skin. And then when we're applying this, let me put this down somewhere. When we're applying this, we're going to start from the middle and work our way out. So we want to apply most of this in the middle and then work it out. For the second coat of base, we don't need to use so many drops. We're going to be using like 5 or 6. So it won't take long to start to flash and start to cure. So somewhere around here, I'm just going to grab some of that extra, and I'm going to go over it with my cloth right now. And I'm not going to push too hard, just gently. Make sure I overlap the other area halfway across the hood so that I'm not leaving any lines or anything behind. So if we mess this up, yes, it's going to be a bit of a pain. You do have to polish it out. I think there's a product that actually removes it, but you don't want to mess it up. Now that we've already primed the sponge, we only need about 6 drops, 5, 6 drops, something like that. And again, we'll continue where we left off. It's okay to get it on other surfaces. It's not harmful. So again, this is where your protection is, right? A couple more drops. And then we're going to go back and hit that with our microfiber cloth. So I'll start over here. And again, I'm not pushing too hard. I'm not trying to rub it off. I just want to gently take off anything that might be a high point or an inconsistent point for the most part. I'm going to head over, I'll finish up the side of the hood right here, and then we'll head over to the other side of the hood. Now the base coat doesn't really give you any kind of slickness or feel to it. It's the top coat. So again, a few more drops here just for this area. Give that a few seconds. And then we're just going to let it kind of flash out. You start to see it sort of dry. And how quickly you want to do that really depends on your environment. If it's hot in the environment that you're in, you're going to want to hit it more within the 15 to 20 second mark, as opposed to the higher end, 45 seconds might be a bit too long. Let's move on to the other side. Again, working from the center out. So again, just be mindful that you can mess this up. It's not completely foolproof. It's going to start to flash over there. I can see it. You're going to get better spread if you, and not miss any spots if you do back and forth motions. So that's the whole idea between the back and forth motion, is to not miss anything. It won't really change the look or feel of it, other than you'll just maybe miss a spot. You don't want to miss anything, because the whole point of this is to protect the surface. So I'll go a little bit past where I think that I've been, and I'm going to go check the center, make sure we don't have any kind of line between the two, and I see nothing at all. Add a few more drops. Start again here. I'll work my way back slightly. This is a very impressive product. I've learned a lot about it recently, and I'm a huge fan of the 2-step or even 3-step process. Just more layers, more protection. You're going to want to have some kind of adequate lighting as well. This way we can see if there's any high points or any inconsistencies in it. Just going over it. I'm always double checking. I'll finish up the side of the hood. A couple more drops. Wasn't enough. There we go. Has a strong aroma to it. Not quite like nail polish, but similar in a sense. Now, I've used G-Technique in the past. It's another good product, but this, from what I've seen, I haven't actually seen a lot of wear and tear and weathering examples, just because, you know, G-Technique is just not really doing stuff like that, I guess. But as far as the wrap goes, I know the coatings are good, and I've used them many times, and I know they hold up. It's just, this to me is a bigger, longer process, which means there's a bit more depth to the actual coating. And for me, that's an important thing. Again, G-Technique is also going to cost less. Ceramic Pro costs a bit more, and there's also baseline pricing, so there's a minimum pricing for doing this kind of work. There's pricing for the whole car, there's pricing for like interiors and things like that, and you do have to abide by those things, which keeps an industry standard, right? Nobody's lowballing, nobody's undercutting, nobody's underselling. You know, everyone has to charge about the same price. So no matter where you go, you know, you're getting a good job done if you're actually looking for someone to do this, because you do need to be a business, and you usually do need to be trained in order to use this properly. It's not a long, I think it's a day, maybe it's longer. I don't actually know. I did do training with the owner of Ceramic Pro at their shop. This is where I've been doing the training workshops, and he did show me how to use this and how to apply it and everything like that. So, but there is certification for this. He certified me because he knows that I know what I'm doing, and he showed me firsthand what to do. Right now, we can time lapse this. that was one coat over about 45 minutes. I've got another coat to do, and then we come back to this 8 hours later and apply the top coat. It's going to give it that real slick feeling and a little bit more of a silky finish to the actual wrap itself. It's not going to be bad for it, that's for sure, because it's satin. It's not going to make it gloss. Don't be under the perception that it's going to actually make it gloss. If it was a matte wrap, it would just make it kind of look like this, like a satin wrap. So all it's going to do with a satin wrap is enhance the sheen, and that's about it. It's going to protect the car from UV light, and it's going to water repel. It's going to be all kinds of wicked things. That's really great for the wrap. Okay guys, we're back at it. We're just over 8 hours later, and more than that, and we're going to be doing the top coat on the 2 coats of base coat for the ceramic coating, PPF, and vinyl. Now again, the base coat is what is actually going to protect the vehicle. The top coat is going to allow some water beading and give it that really slick finish. But again, the base coat is where it's at. So when you're doing a matte film, the base coat is all that you really want to use, unless you want to add a bit of a sheen to the actual film, which the top coat can do. Okay, so be careful of that and be mindful of that. Again, we're doing this over satin white and then the gloss carbon fiber accents, so it will not be an issue as far as adding sheen goes. It's just going to make it look a little bit more luxurious. In my opinion, it's going to look really nice. So I'm going to do the hood, and then we're going to speed up the rest of it, and then we'll revisit this a little later on again once it's all finished and cured. Now again, you can use the sponge that you used for the base coat. You just have to flip it over. So keep in mind that one side is going to be more rough and kind of feel like plasticky. The other side is soft and nice and porous still. So we're going to use the soft side. So you can use your sponge basically one time for the entire process. One sponge per car basically. I'm looking at like $1. It's not much. On top of that, we're going to have a clean microfiber cloth. Now when we apply the top coat, we're going to be wiping it off very much right away. It doesn't take long. It's going to absorb into the base coat, from my understanding, is going to absorb into the base coat nearly right away. We're just going to wipe off any excess and that's it. So be sure you have the right box. This says top coat on it, and I just opened it up. Okay, because both boxes look identical. It does come with its own microfiber cloth, but we're not going to use that. It's going to take way too long. So again, we're going to prime the surface of the sponge and go at it. So about 10 drops or so, maybe a little less. Let's put the cap over here. Sometimes you got to give it a little shake to get it going. Cool. Now again, I'm just going to apply this in, this is a large panel, so I'm going to apply this in a smaller area and then wipe it off. Start with the larger areas, it's always better. That way you can spread out the actual product. Now again, the cure time sort of varies between your room temperature and where you're doing this. Something ideal like room temperature, like 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit or so is ideal. So we're going to add a few more drops. And then again, I'm going to work the product back and forth. We can overlap where we've done slightly, that's no problem. You probably won't see much of a difference as far as the finish goes, since this is a satin wrap. It's okay to overlap a little. Keep in mind that you're going to want to do that because you're not going to want to miss any areas. And it can be slightly challenging to see sometimes, especially with the white. So again, Wipe it off. It's about 68 degrees in here today. It's a little bit cooler. It's nothing to be concerned about. And I believe one kit of the ceramic coating, you can get about 3 cars, 2 to 3 cars, let's say. It would depend on the size of the vehicles, but I suppose if you're doing a bunch of really small cars, you could get a little more out of it. Perfect, this side of the hood's done. Now I haven't done quite down the middle yet, so we're gonna finish that up. Again, allowing the adequate time for the product to do its thing is important. So, you know, giving that gap between the base coat and the top coat is very important. Don't try and rush it. If you start it early in the morning, you can finish it off in the evening or afternoon. You're going to want to have some decent lighting also, as I said before. The lighting will help to see where you've applied the vinyl, or sorry, applied the product to the vinyl. It's probably a little boring to watch, but more information the better, because I do like to give my honest opinion about products and show you what's out there. Mostly pertaining to wraps, but you know, again, this isn't just for wraps. You know, you can get the paint version as well, and I didn't do the training on that part, but it probably applies very similarly. I could be completely wrong, so I'll do some research into it. I'm just making an assumption when it comes to that. In the end, I do want to show you or just tell you what I think about products and the results that I get when I do use these products. This layer does not need to be crazy thick, okay? And again, you're going to get basically the life of the wrap out of the product. So the warranty that's on the wrap itself, you'll get from this product. I'm not killing it, I'm just, you know, firm, even pressure. I'm not trying to do any harm here. Just going over it, having a look. It's good to flip your microfiber cloth over every once in a while. Give it the other side some time to dry. I should be using gloves actually. I was using gloves, yes. When I did this the base coat, I can feel my hands already getting a little slick. It's okay. The skin will shed eventually anyways, so I'm not worried about it. Just make my hands feel nice and soft. That's pretty much it for the hood. Let's have a quick look. Looks fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the rest of this. So we're back here later on, and the vehicle is fully cured, fully coated, 2 base coats, 1 top coat. So 2 base coats of Ceramic Pro, 1 top coat. Gives a slight bit of sheen, but I mean, I can almost not even tell. Again, all that does is going to enhance the satin white finish on this vehicle here. So there's a little snippet in there of my phone sticking to the vehicle. Well, here, it won't stick to the vehicle anymore. And this is not even like a very steep incline right here. So very impressive. Now that top coat, that's what gives it this slick feeling. I mean, I can put it like anywhere, even on the window, let's say, and it sticks. And that's a way steeper incline than what's going on there. So just to kind of give you an example, because the whole car is coated, I can't actually show you on any other part of the car. Now, very easy to apply. You can make a mistake, so it's not completely foolproof. You're going to want to maybe go through some training and get certified. Again, the form is there in the description below. If you thought that this video was informative and helpful, don't forget to give it a like. Now let's kind of go over, we'll just walk around the car, even though I have another video of walking around the car, but just to show you that we haven't really changed anything as far as the look goes of the actual film. And it looks gorgeous. So we want to see like more of like a side profile. We'll hit the light. All right, there's nothing there. If you make a mistake with this, what could happen is you could end up leaving streaks, and then those streaks will show, and you have to get them polished out for the most part, I'm pretty sure. So you don't want that to happen. Yeah, it's stunning. I think it brings a whole new appearance to this car, just the satin white wrap in general. So again, very excellent product and service to offer, especially if you are doing wraps. Not everyone goes for it, but if you plan on keeping your wrap for an extended period of time, especially a matte white or a satin white wrap, it's going to start weathering and you're going to want to protect it. Matte films, they stain a lot easier, so at least put those base coats down, get them done. So if you're someone who's looking into getting this done, it's very beneficial. I'm not going to lie. Again, there's a car that's coated that comes by the shop that is half coated just for demonstration purposes with the wrap on it, and it's white, and half of the wrap is yellow and the other half is still white. The part that's white is the coated part. I'll do a video on that later on when I see it again. Otherwise, yeah, it's phenomenal stuff. So again, just my personal review on this product and the installation of it and how to do it. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. I have many more videos on the way. If you do want to see some different things, I am working on some different things going on, so I have some big ideas coming up for this year, and do my best to get the audio fixed. I know this mic that I have right now is not the best audio, but we're getting there. My video guy is not here today, so I've been doing a couple of videos on my own, and that'll continue. He can't always be here, so that's what it is. Anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.